Hello, my name is Jorge de la Torre. I'm on the board of We Don't Waste, and I'm also the culinary director of Kitchen Network at the Park Hill campus here in Denver, Colorado. All right, well, now we're going to make a summer slaw. So a lot of people, when they say coleslaw, they think it's a mayonnaise-y, kind of heavy, not that popular kind of side dish that people don't like. But slaws can be really anything, and they don't have to be mayo-based. So I'm going to try to do a non-mayo based, kind of sweet, tangy, and beautiful, using, again, vegetables and fruit that were brought into We Don't Waste, so that you can say, oh, this is a little different. So this can be a nice, great side dish. What it's going to be is going to be a take on, it'll have jicama and apples and slaw. But what I like to do first is I like to make the vinaigrette. So that acid, sometimes when you're cutting apples, you need to put it in a lemon water, or some type of acidulated water is what they call it, so it doesn't turn brown. But I don't want to waste the water. I don't want to waste the lime when I already know that I'm going to have a vinaigrette. Or you could use lime as your piece for the vinaigrette. I'm going to use white wine vinegar. So since I already have it in there, it's going to stay nice and white. So I'm going to save time, save resources, and do it a little quicker. So right now I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use the slaw. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Again, like I've said before, it does not matter what you use. Any type of vinegar that you have on hand that you like will be good. And again, it can be lemon or lime. Lime slaw is delicious. Just going to add a little oil. So again, we're trying to go for a 2-to-1 ratio. And this one has a little more vinegar than oil, but I like that for the slaw. We might fix it up a little later. So I'm going to start, we're going to add a little sweetness to this too. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of honey. We will mix it up. And we're going to add a little surprise at the end, but right now we're going to let the veggies kind of work in here. So what we're doing now is we're going to take an apple. Don't need to peel, make sure it's washed. And we're cutting nice, even. You saw how I used a flat surface rather than the other, so it didn't wobble, nice and safe. Then I can take a few at a time and make nice little matchsticks like that. And then remember, like I say, you could go this big, but this is maybe a little too big for people's mouths. I'm a firm believer in making sure that everything fits nicely in one bite. Okay, we're going to cut into nice, and then we can go into nice ribbons like this. And then we'll cut one more time. You can do as many as you want, as thin as you like, but these all fit nice in your mouth. Now we're going to cut the jicama. So some people peel the jicama. I like to cut it. Again, I like to work with a flat surface. So I'm trying to get us 2 flat surfaces. We're only going to use half, so I'm going to cut this in half for right now. This stuff is, I just love it. If you've never had it, it's kind of between apple and potato. Nice, great texture. Always great in slaws or by themselves. My favorite one, or my kids love with just lime and salt. All right, so now that I have this cut, let me just tighten it up a little. Again, I have the flat spot so it's not running away on me. I'm going to cut as thin as I can, or as thin as I want. Then from there, I have them together. I have 3. You can do as many as you feel comfortable. I'm trying to use same size cuts, little matchsticks. Okay, then I think I'm going to make it nice, I'm going to hit them into 3 so they fit nice. Going to mix it in there. We also got a bag. This is how it came, already pre-washed, pre-cut. So no need to waste it. Let's use a little of it, or let's use all of it. A little of that cabbage, but then we also have this red cabbage. So I'm gonna cut down here towards, down on the core. You see this right here, I like to cut it out right there. Take that core apart. Let's not use some of these outer leaves that are a little older, a little tougher. Put those in your compost heap, save for your vegetable stock. We're gonna cut. Then we're gonna get some nice strips. And again, you could run this across a box grater if you want. I'm just using a few thin strips to give it, again, remember we're trying to make things visually appealing. So you have some red, you have some white, you have some gorgeous purple from the red cabbage, which is really a purple cabbage, right? But nobody asked us. And at the end, if you like, I love radishes. So we just happen to have radishes because it has that nice peppery bite that I like. And that's a great mix with the sweet. So we can do matchsticks there again. And I'm only using matchsticks because that's your typical slaw design. Now, does that mean that you have to do it? Could you cut these in rounds and stuff like that? Absolutely. So I'm gonna cut these in a little smaller because we don't need that much. Some people don't need that big bite of radish, but it has a nice little end taste to it, all right? So we're gonna mix this up a little. Make sure you try to let this sit a little because that salt and pepper and oil and vinegar will soften the bite of the cabbage, make it a little tastier. Anything that you like that's fresh would go great with this. What I'm gonna do is I took the leaves, we're gonna make a chiffonade, I'm rolling them up, and I'm cutting real thin. Does it have to be thin? Could it be torn and thrown in? Absolutely. But this is like for a little visual. If you put that at the beginning, then it might start to wilt, but right now it looks so nice and fresh and green at the end. Gives it a nice flavor. All right, so now we have this. Now it's time to plate. You could use a spoon and plate it in there. Us chefs, we like to, who doesn't like to play with their food? So I like to grab, that's why I have the gloves on, and I like to mound it nicely. You mound it and then you let it have a natural fall. So that looks natural, doesn't look, all right, so then you can do that. We have a little of the vinaigrette, the slaw vinaigrette, so it's gonna be sweet from the honey, sour from the vinegar, nice and herbaceous from the mint. It's gonna have those nice, crispy, crunchy, refreshing flavors. If you want it to be super fancy and like wow them, you take a piece of that mint out and add it as a garnish, and there you go. You have a apple jicama slaw. Right, so thank you again. My name's Jorge de la Torre with We Don't Waste. Please make sure you check out our website so you can find out when these fantastic mobile markets are to get these wonderful fruits and vegetables so that you can make your next great meal. And I hope you follow us for more videos to come.